Over the weekend, journalist Seymour Hersh released a very different story about the killing of Osama bin Laden than that which we were told by the US government. And this alleges basically three different things, and I will tell you what they are. These are Seymour Hersh's allegations about the killing of Osama bin Laden. Number one, Hersh says that bin Laden was not actually hiding in Abbottabad, as we have been told, but rather that he was on house arrest, placed there under guard by Pakistan's security services with financial help from the Saudis. Number two, Hersh says we didn't track down where Osama bin Laden was through diligent intelligence work, as the government would have you think, but rather that a Pakistani informant actually ratted out Osama bin Laden to the CIA in exchange for a $25 million reward. And number three, Hersh says we did not kill Osama bin Laden in a firefight, but rather that he was abandoned by his Pakistani guards and gunned down in cold blood by American troops. The entire thing was supposed to remain secret, but you might remember that there was a helicopter crash during this operation to take out Osama bin Laden, and Hersh says it was because of that helicopter crash that this entire two different stories thing even started, and that if it weren't for that, that it would just have been one story on message, no reason to think anything was amiss. The White House denied the claims made by Seymour Hersh. Okay, no surprise so far. But here's where it gets interesting. Numerous reporters, including reporters from the New York Times, as well as from NBC rather, have said actually parts of what Seymour Hersh is saying we also agree with, and we were researching at the time as well. For example, blogger R.J. Hillhouse published similar allegations 4 years ago in 2011, and is now saying not only is Seymour Hersh right about some of this stuff, Seymour Hersh copied this stuff from us, that I was RJ saying that they were publishing the exact same stuff at the time. Carlotta Gall, a New York Times correspondent based in Afghanistan, writes in the Times that she also encountered evidence to support one of the claims made by Hersh, which is that Pakistan had been hiding bin Laden in Abbottabad all along. Over at NBC, a group of reporters say that three high-level sources confirmed the same claim with regard to the whereabouts of Osama bin Laden. And one reporter has already stated that they saw the compound right after everything happened and that it was riddled with bullet holes. So while they don't disagree with everything that Hersh has said, it would certainly bring up questions about, well, if this was not actually a firefight, if Osama bin Laden was gunned down in cold blood, why would there be all of these bullet holes elsewhere? Unless, Lewis, I guess it was part of creating a scene that made it look like a firefight. So question one, before you address, Lewis, whether you believe the claims, does it matter, based on the two stories we now have, Seymour Hersh's story and the official story from the U.S. government, does it make a difference if Hersh's story is true?
Well, only in that our government would have put on, the White House would have put on this elaborate lie to make it seem like they achieved this through hard work and determination and did something that didn't happen. Okay, so is it that big a deal? No, I guess not. I don't think it would make a huge difference.
Well, the argument that's being made is, okay, if Osama bin Laden really was killed and that is the location where he was killed, why do the details matter? But the counterpoint to that is, hold on a second, the government lying about the arguably biggest event in what was then a decade-long war on terror following 9/11, that is a huge deal. The entire 10-year lead-up to the killing of Osama bin Laden was all about capturing and or killing the individual responsible for the 9/11 attacks. And after a decade, it happens, and we're not told the real story. In that context, it's quite a big deal.
Well, in a way, we still killed him. My question would be, how long, a bigger question for me would be, did we know that he was in Pakistan before? Did we not take action? Did we know where he was at any point and not take action? Lying about how it happened, we still did it. So it just doesn't surprise me. I'm not shocked by this, and I don't think it's a huge deal.
Okay, now, you've looked at the claims that Seymour Hersh has made. Do these claims, now that we have corroboration, as it may be, from the New York Times reporter and from NBC, what is your thinking about the truth of these claims?
I think they could very well be true. I don't really know what to believe yet, but I assume that this is going to explode and that we are going to start hearing from a lot of different people, and there will be many investigations. So I think
Maybe.
we'll have to wait and see.
I think that there may be a sort of that they may try to just sweep this under the rug. The administration, they've denied it, and it may not get too much oxygen. But we will see. I am interested to see what ultimately happens, and if we do at some point have sort of incontrovertible proof or an admission that it is as Seymour Hersh says, there are a lot of people who have been slamming Hersh for years who are going to have to issue some kind of explanation here.
Yeah, I think so. There's going to be a lot of explaining, and we'll see if anyone's up to that challenge, up to doing it.